My first introduction to gaming was when my dad convinced my mom to buy a computer when I was really, really young. He was convinced that computers were going to be the future, and he wanted my brother and I to start using them really early. So my first memories of games on that were of DOS games. I remember playing SimCity. We would get my mom to play the scarier games. I remember watching her play Myst and Dark Forces. And then later we got an N64 and a Game Boy and became obsessed with everything Nintendo, and it was just history from there. I was working as a web development project manager, and that wasn't really exciting to me after a few years, so I thought to myself what I was really passionate about, and it was games. So I started doing my research, and I found that project management and product management had a lot of overlap, as well as web development and game development. One of my friends worked for Jam City, so I got a referral and got an interview, got a job, and moved out to California. I currently oversee the franchise of Family Guy games here at Jam City. So my role is to essentially be the business owner and product driver of the Family Guy games. So my day-to-day varies. You can often find me working with designers, our engineers, our QA analysts. I'm checking our metrics and reporting on them. I really like the problem-solving nature of my job. I like that it's something different every day, and I like that, obviously it's games, so it's a lot of fun, but also just the teams that I work with are insanely good, and it's really motivating to be around people who also love the same things that I do. I am a gamer. I think that anybody who likes games and enjoys them can call themselves a gamer. My favorite thing about playing games is just the fact that it feels like I'm learning, but I can also get a sense of relaxation. I can also get a sense of just accomplishment and a sense of wonder, because they're so creative now that it's like entering a whole new world. I think women face challenges with gender stereotypes in the workplace. For example, a coworker recently sent me an article referencing some research about how when women tell jokes in presentations, it's perceived negatively, whereas when men tell the same jokes, it's seen as a positive. And that's because of some stereotypes we have about how women should act in the workplace. And this bias was from men and women. And we see this as well with women being emotional in the workplace. It's seen as a negative, whereas men who are emotional are seen as strong leaders. So I think that instead of becoming flat, emotionless, humorless beings in the workplace, that the real solution is to bring awareness to these kinds of stereotypes and then to point it out when we see it happening. I think it's important to have diversity in the industry, because having varied backgrounds and perspectives going into game making means that we get varied and creative games. So otherwise, we're just going to have the same stuff made over and over. And I think to encourage this, we need to bring some awareness that you don't necessarily have to have a creative or technical background to get into gaming. And there's a lot of jobs now that don't require that. And there's a lot of roles that fit a lot of different skill sets. So my biggest role model is definitely my mom. She's a farmer, and that's a very male-dominated industry. And I watched her face the challenge of being a woman in a male-dominated industry, as well as being an immigrant, and English isn't her native language. So she really excelled at this, and it was by watching her that I felt like I could do anything and face any challenge head-on as well. My advice would be to seek out role models and mentors that can give you advice and give you introductions. Meet as many people as you can in the gaming industry and ask them a lot of questions. And then after you're in, keep asking questions.